Hello and welcome to Journeys and Journals. I'm Bernie Martin Beck and I get the privilege of talking to people who've made history. That's where we're going today, the U.S. Navy. My guest today is a traveler who's come all the way across the country to bring this story. Welcome, Carl. Now, where was that honor flight? Oregon.
The honor flight was from Oregon in this area to Washington, D.C. to the World War II Memorial.
I see that hat. The greatest generation. Thank you for all you did for our country. When did you go on this honor flight?
2 weeks ago.
So this is fresh memory in your mind.
I won't forget it, believe me.
You brought so many things here. I'd just love to talk about World War II Memorial. That's where you went.
That is the main visit, yes.
And how'd you happen to go?
I heard on television about a 15-second thing about a World War II memorial and the honor flight, but that's all. So I called up the stations and so on. Nobody knew anything about it. So finally, one of the TV stations, I got a call back. We found out some information, and that's when they gave me Gail Yuckplatt's telephone number.
Well, you know, I'm going to have the station put that telephone number up with his name because this is good information. There's a lot of you guys out here that we just want to say thank you.
We are the first real group from Southern Oregon to take the flight this way.
Well, tell me about the flight. What in the world is honor flight?
They call it the honor flight because I think about 6 years ago, it started in Ohio by a group of private pilots. They got together to take the veterans from veterans hospitals and so on, to take them to see the memorial.
Yeah, because we're talking World War II. I mean, you guys aren't youngsters. Can you tell us?
It has blossomed since then, and since it first started until we went, they have honor flights from all over the country now, and they've had approximately 40,000 veterans to visit the memorial.
Oh, you know, we are so grateful that there are 40,000 of you guys alive. I just waved that. You can see I got a 48-star flag back there because that's the way it was.
I also own a 48-star flag, yes.
And the beautiful eagle here that says, "Welcome to you, Carl.
And
welcome home."
If anyone wants on the computer, I do not own a computer, but there is the computer.
The address of how they can get a hold of this.
How they can get a hold of information to help donate or whatever they can.
Now, this little bag, was that part of your...
No, that was
you brought
something that I picked up.
You brought a name tag.
We wore those name tags all during our trip.
Okay, you say U.S. Navy. Tell me about your Navy career.
Well, it wasn't really that great, really, because I'm like so many, many other veterans. We had a job to do, and that was it. We didn't think about it. I went in February of '43. I was discharged in May of '46.
And you were how old? Because that's going to give
I was 17 when I went in.
Carl, what did your mom think?
She was all for it.
Oh, she was?
Well, because my brothers and sister were in.
How many in your family were serving the U.S. government?
5 of us.
Oh, my. She must have been very, very proud.
She had 5 blue stars in the window.
And no gold ones.
No gold ones, thank goodness.
Gold ones indicated that your child.
But we were charmed in a way with the good Lord.
Yeah,
And,
that your child had died at war, right? And those other ones, they said you were serving. Where did you serve?
My main serving station was out in Guam.
Oh, really?
And I was Combat Aircraft Unit 12. And we helped supply the fleet with aircraft.
Okay, so you got the broken ones back in?
No,
Okay.
the broken ones most of the time were deep six.
Oh, no.
There was no place to repair anything.
Ah, there was no place to repair.
Exactly.
So
And
there were new ones coming off the line over here.
the new ones were coming out to the Pacific on every conceivable ship that could carry some.
And every conceivable person who could rivet, we had Rosie the Riveter on here.
She was in the States here supplying us so we could supply the planes to the fleet.
Well, let us talk about what happened when you left Medford, Southern Oregon. You met with another bunch from where?
Northern California.
And so you all went by train. I guess there wasn't.
Southwest Airlines
Now,
flew us.
was Southwest one of those hospitable companies like Shiloh Inn, who said,
Yes.
what's,
As I understand it, we got a break on flight.
and how about Shiloh?
Shiloh didn't cost us a thing.
And what's their sign say to you?
Welcome on our flight of Oregon, the greatest generation.
Yay! Oh, my goodness. And
The owner of Shiloh, his father was a World War II veteran. He passed away, but they have donated our rooms free of charge for the night.
Going up there. Now, where's this picture?
This picture was at the Midway Airport, USO, where we had to change planes.
You mean Chicago?
In Chicago, Midway Airport in Chicago.
And there you guys are all kind of like, some of you've got on your shirt, same shirt you've got on today.
We were supposed to wear them at all times when we were going around things.
Oh boy, I hope they washed them.
This has been very well washed, yes.
Very well washed. You know, we've got to jump right into the truth about this, because this is the story.
That is the true story, yes.
What's it about, Carl?
It is the making or the building of our World War II memorial.
And this didn't happen right away.
It took 65 years.
Just like you guys, you came home from war and went to work.
No, not really.
Oh.
Not really. When we came home, there was no work.
So what did you do?
Whatever we could find, and most of us were young enough, we were able to possibly live at home.
Okay, did you go back to school, Carl? Because you probably hadn't finished.
Where I lived, there were no schools for advancement. I had to travel too far. They didn't have
No junior college.
no junior colleges or anything back in those days.
Yeah.
The same as the Veterans Administration. They didn't have anything for us. So we...
What'd you do, pump gas?
No, I was very, very fortunate that I had my own canoe, which
Literally.
I owned a wood and canvas old town canoe. My one son has it now. I was able to go up to the Arrowhead Canoe Country in Minnesota, where I lived for 6 months off the land up there. When I came back, I was very, very fortunate that I got into a little program to work on what back in those days were the Nike sites.
Missiles?
Missile sites.
So you go from low-tech to high-tech and...
Well, back in that days, they were not that high-tech.
Oh, they weren't.
But what had happened is they had built the Nike sites, but there was no communication stuff between the different sites.
Oh, my.
So that was one of our jobs, is to work with the communications between many of the Nike sites.
A very important job.
It was in a way, but we didn't think so. Just as long as that paycheck came in.
I'm envisioning before that they had tin cans with a string between them to communicate. Oh, man.
And that's where we started
Can you
in the installation of computer systems.
Can you believe that we're now doing bouncings off the moon and far distant land?
I helped work on part of that.
With what company?
McDonnell Douglas Space Center, Huntington Beach, California.
Oh, really?
I helped with put together a small portion of Skylab.
Oh, that's kind of fun. We were involved in the ham radio first satellite called, Douglas, you'll never...
Yes, I was for quite a while a ham radio.
Okay.
But...
Well, I'm KB7ZFA.
I'm no longer.
Oh, okay.
Because my hearing is such that I can't pick up any code or anything.
Well, nowadays you don't have to be a code wizard anymore.
That's what I understand. But back when we were working with it, you had to have the codes.
You're
and the code
absolutely... What speed did you get up to?
I think it was something like 60 or 70 words a minute.
Oh, my. That's really an accomplished one. Old Doug, my husband, can do 45, and I can do 4 or 5.
During the service, being in the Air Force, Navy Air Force, we had to know code.
Sure. So it was a given. You know, I wanted you to tell me all about this. How many Navy guys were on your flight?
Just myself.
Okay, and where'd the rest?
Navy, Army, Marine, and Air Corps.
Oh, when you say Air Corps, tell me a little bit about
the
that.
Army Air Corps, not the Air Force. We had that one out. And it was quite at one of the big dinners, somebody says, well, I was with the Army Air Force. Oh, no, you weren't. You were a B-17 pilot in the Army Air Corps.
Oh, it sounds like you were pretty proud. Somebody straightened that guy out in a hurry.
That was kind of a fun thing.
Sure.
It was straightened out there, and
it was straightened out in no time at all. You've got pictures of you guys when you were there.
yes,
This memorial is like no other.
it is not. It's 7 acres in size.
I wished I could share every page of this with you folks, because it's pretty awesome. But we see flags everywhere.
If they wish to take pictures from that, they're welcome to it. Otherwise, they can.
This is about the Pacific. That's where you were, right?
Yes.
Out in Guam. I remember my friend saying no fresh food ever got to Guam. They came on the boat, and it was old lettuce.
Well, that can be contested too,
Oh,
because all of the different ships that came out from the States, they all had fresh food
when they left.
when they left. But when they got to us, we had different things to trade. So the cooks and so forth, and many of the freighters or everything else, we had lots of fresh food.
Oh, well, she told me Gordon Grant was in military over there, and his wife told me you'd peel down the big head of lettuce, which was all brown and slimy, and in the middle you'd have some good lettuce.
Well, also, Guam was Island Command headquarters. And the refrigerator ships came in there.
Uh-huh. Well, now, this is it. This is what it looks like.
Yes.
And in the middle, I see the picture about the Pacific, because that's your theater of operation.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. What did it mean to you to be sent? Someone handed you a ticket. How did that happen? You saw it in the. How did you first learn about the honor flight?
As I said, I heard it on television. They finally, from Channel 12 anyhow,
Got back to you.
they got back to me and they gave me Gail's telephone number.
You know, if you take off that hat, we can see who you are there. Yeah. Just in case folks wanted to meet you in town. Maybe you always have the hat on.
I'm not going to say that because of age on this. I was this pure white at age 38. I got hit with high voltage electricity working.
Oh, so that's why your hair
And
stands on
6 months, I was pure white, and I was getting into a lot of senior places because of the pure white.
I'll bet that's the truth. Why did it take so long for us to get a World War II memorial?
And I'm going to say it truthfully.
Please.
Our lousy government Congress.
Okay.
Fighting over it,
Okay.
and so on.
You know, I can't pass up this photo. Women who stepped up.
Yes.
We've had women on here.
We, as far as I'm concerned, myself and many others have honored our women from World War II all the way through. I have never degraded it. They
We're measured as citizens of the nation, not as women. This was a people's war, and everyone was in it.
yes.
Had one of those vets here. She served in Hawaii. And no, I'm sorry. She was in England, serving in all manner of capacities, you know, serving to. It's an interesting thing. Why, okay.
My sister served on Kwajalein.
Oh, really? Out on another island? Mm-hmm. Were you guys there when bombs were bursting in air?
Most of the time, well, we went in 3 days after the first wave.
So you saw some awful stuff.
We saw it awful, but we didn't see the actual fighting.
No, because you were there to work on, get things going.
And, we were with the CBs and so on.
Now, who are they? There they are at the memorial.
Yeah. There's our B-17 pilot.
Oh, they got our shirts on, all four of them.
And I think this, let's see, he was a Marine, and he was Army, and I Navy.
So you got there, all of you. While you were in Washington, D.C., I can see that you did quite a few other things besides looking at that gorgeous monument. This touched my heart when you showed me this. What is it?
That is the Honor Wall of Stars. They are gold stars, 4,000 stars. Each star represents 100,000 service people that never came back.
Wow, folks, maybe your grandpa, your dad.
It's unbelievable.
How many?
And I was told by one of the rangers there, those stars are not brass or bronze, they're gold.
Oh, okay. Now some people go there in special memory.
Yes.
What was happening here is this woman.
This was the group we were with from Northern California. Our pedestal was right over here, and they are placing an honor flag at their pedestal.
Now several of you guys are in rolling chairs, as I call them. You aren't. You just walked right in here. Did you drive here too?
I beg pardon on that one.
Did you have to take a cab to come here, or are you still driving?
Oh, I'm still driving.
And very able-bodied, I'll tell you. This guy knows his
I am extremely fortunate. I have no medications or anything.
Wow.
All I do is take my few vitamins.
And keep on rolling. You know, the first time I heard of the National Mall, my mind only knew of the mall over at Portland, the mall at, and I had no idea. Could you describe the National Mall for us?
The National Mall is really it's all of the different memorials and government business buildings.
Around a beautiful...
Between the Lincoln Memorial and the Washington Memorial, the Vietnam Memorial, and so forth.
It's a park. It's a park where people gather.
It's a tremendously beautiful park.
Blocks and blocks and blocks
Yes.
long. Mr. Lincoln, you know that's my favorite. Thank you for bringing that. Did you get to go see some of these monuments?
That I saw, yes. Oh, I wouldn't miss that one. I made purpose because I think that I visited just about every place Lincoln lived and worked and so on back in the Midwest with my Boy Scouts.
Oh, you're a scout leader?
I was. I spent 20 years in scouting.
Thank you for that, too.
I enjoyed it.
Now, this picture, it doesn't look...
That is the Korean Wall etchings.
It's beautiful. You know, I'm married to a Korean vet, and I'm really proud of the guys who served there.
I am very proud of every one of them that have been in the service.
Now, this is a memorial.
That is the Korean Memorial.
Now, we have Vietnam Memorial, too.
I did not take pictures of that because it was so crowded, and most of the country has seen the memorial because it's traveled cross country.
To Grants Pass, Oregon. We got to see it here.
That's exactly why I didn't take pictures of it.
Because we got to see it. Tell me, in the last couple of minutes, you know, here you are with the Indian. I thought...
No, that's with the Sailor Memorial.
That is this... He's a sailor in his...
A sailor with his sea bag. And they made me get between the two of them for the picture.
He's a giant, isn't he? Because you're not a little guy either. What do you bring back to us besides this TV show?
I bring back memories to help our public try to understand what had taken place and has almost been forgotten for our service people that really kept this country together.
Yeah, because it was tough. It was tough. When you guys came home to find work, it was tough to come home and buck up.
Yeah, but when we look at it now as to then, we thought nothing of it. We were young.
Did you get a GI home? Did you get a...
No.
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 Well, there was a whole group, we've heard, people who could get a piece of property for a very low rate because they'd been serving their country, right
Yes.
here in Southern Oregon. Thank you so much for coming. Do you have one last story about...
The biggest thing is to meet all of the people at the memorials from not just this country, from around the world,
saying thank you.
saying thank you to us for helping to save their countries. It's so hard to describe the feelings there. They wanted pictures, and I bet we had 1,000 pictures taken that day.
Oh, of people from Japan and Korea,
Every
and
country
Germany,
you can imagine.
and they said thank you to you.
They said thank you to all of us.
Well, there you are on your way home, looking
Yes.
like a tired bunch of guys.
We were, believe me.
Oh, thank you, Carl. Thank you so
That
much.
3 hours train time difference sure hurts.
I'm Bernie Martin Beck, and I am so grateful for these men and women who've served our country. And thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for allowing me to do this to help maybe bring in additional funds to send other veterans.
You got it.
Thank you.
God bless America.